former Republican governor from Ohio, John Kasich, who of course ran in the Republican primary in 2016 and beat Trump in Ohio, will be speaking on behalf of Joe Biden at the Democratic National Convention next month. Now, the convention is likely to be held online for obvious reasons in the middle of this pandemic, but that's beside the point. The point here is that the DNC has chosen a Republican from Ohio to speak on behalf of Joe Biden. Articles are saying that it's unclear whether he's going to endorse Biden, but I would argue that if he's gonna speak at the Democratic National Convention, he's endorsing Joe Biden. Now look, I'm mentioning this mostly because I don't care if Kasich speaks on behalf of Joe Biden. I mean, you have the Lincoln Project, which is full of Republicans endorsing Biden, helping him out by putting out all sorts of negative ads attacking Donald Trump because they're never Trump Republicans.
Yes, exactly. You and Jink and the others over there at the Young Turks been falling in love with those ads from the Lincoln Project. And those are Republicans. So no, you do care that Biden is marching out a Republican to speak. But you can't say nothing about it, so you reach to try and find something else to point out.
I don't care if Kasich speaks on behalf of Joe Biden. I mean, you have the Lincoln Project, which is full of Republicans endorsing Biden, helping him out by putting out all sorts of negative ads attacking Donald Trump because they're never Trump Republicans. But what I do find fascinating is that the Democratic National Committee was livid that Bernie Sanders seemed to be accepting of Joe Rogan's semi-endorsement on his podcast, right? Because Joe Rogan believes in things that we disagree with, how dare he? But like John Kasich is a Republican. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He is a Republican. And they're like, oh yeah, come, Precious, yes, come speak at the DNC. I mean, come on. Look, again, I don't care that John Kasich is gonna be there, that he's gonna speak for Joe Biden and support him. That's fine, it is what it is. It's just the hypocrisy that I can't get past, I can't get over. And like the fake outrage coming from the Neera Tandons of the world when it came to Joe Rogan. If Joe Rogan were to endorse Joe Biden today, I guarantee you they would be like falling over themselves about how happy they are and how much they want him to speak at the convention. That's my only commentary on this.
See, the problem is not the hypocrisy in the DNC. The problem are you people who think you're progressives because you describe the DNC as enemies of the people. You dump on the DNC inside and out and from top to bottom while still expecting that you should receive the same favoritism as a bona fide Democrat like Joe Biden. Bernie is not a Democrat. Everybody knows this. He's just within the Democratic Party. Progressives act as outsiders, so the DNC treats you as such. You're like fringe Democrats, outskirt Democrats. And you know people like Maxine Waters can hear you trashing their party, right? And I hope you don't think that out of your 5 million subscribers that you're not assuming that none of them is Nancy Pelosi that can hear you describing her party as enemies of the American people. I hope you're not thinking that she's somebody that can't hear you. Now, I haven't bothered to record any of it, but Anna, you and Chink have repeatedly said that Democrats shouldn't negotiate with Republicans. Like what you did with the stimulus negotiations, screaming and yelling about Democrats negotiating with Republicans, as if Democrats are the ultimate authority, the alpha and omega who needs not to negotiate with the other side because whatever the DNC says goes, period, point blank. So yes, you do have a problem with Biden using a Republican to help him win the election. Don't negotiate with Republicans. So the $4 million the Young Turks got from the Republican banker, Buddy Roemer, was non-negotiable. He just walked up and dropped off $4 million, turned his back, then walked away. No strings attached. That's what you're telling me. Can't negotiate with Republicans even though Republicans got you in their pockets. You call the DNC establishment Democrats or corporate Democrats. Or in other words, enemies of the citizenry. But you semi-celebrated progressives negotiating that $2 trillion green promise with Biden. Bernie helped negotiate that too, and he's the face of your progressive thing. Corporate or the establishment is so evil, meanwhile you seek to get your piece of the pie. Blood money. And it is blood money as you describe it. Corporate establishment, it's blood money, yeah, but all of it. Including the blood money that you want to get done what you want done. Because the bottom line is that it's all the devil's work. Democrat, Republican, Independent, Progressive, Green Party, Libertarian, all of it. It's the devil's work. All of it. There is no heavenly in any of this. Not even your progressive group either. Alexandria Cortez. She's another main face of your progressive thing. Now, of course, she's voted no on this or that, as they all do, including the ones y'all call corporate Democrats. They vote no too on certain things, but overall, she and the others, they vote yes to our war machine, that is the United States military budget. And this could easily be looked up to see that Alexandria and many of your other progressives support the occupation of foreign countries, that we strong-arm and bully a lot of our resources out of them that generates the money that you want a piece of. So your purity politics is essentially blowing smoke up people's asses. You cannot work within this thing. Politics, you cannot work within this thing, especially for an extended period of time, unless you're the devil, period.
Hello. It's nice to see you all here. Now, as the more perceptive of you have probably realized by now, this is hell. And I am the devil. Good evening. We try to keep things informal here, as well as infernal. Now, you're all here for eternity, which I hardly need tell you is a heck of a long time. Thank you very much indeed. Yes, there's plenty of room. If the hedge fund managers would just move along a tiny bit. There we go.